Welcome to Between the Shelves. This is your host, Alex, and we have a very special episode this week in honor of World Theater Day, which is coming up on March 27th. I have brought in two very special guests, Stephanie, head of Adult Services.
Hello, Alex.
And we're bringing in an outside guest. This is our secret ace in the hole. Tory is joining us.
Hello, long-time listener, first-time caller.
We have her on the line right now. Hopefully we don't lose her at any point during this recording. So today we're going to talk about theater, Broadway, musicals, the big musical episode. Yes. Stephanie's on stage left of me right now. Tori's on stage right, just so the listeners have an idea of the recording space right now.
And we're about to tread the boards.
Tread the boards. The Great White Way. Is it Wide Way or White Way?
White. Yep.
That needs to change.
They're working on it. They might update that.
All right, so why did I bring in Stephanie and Tory for this episode? You may be asking.
We're wondering that as well.
We are also asking.
Are you really?
No.
No, we're not. We're pretty sure we know.
Stephanie and Tory, you are our Broadway aficionados. Are you not?
Some might say that.
Yes. We might not say it. People have said it to us.
People say it behind your backs.
It's usually how it happens.
So let's get into it. What's everyone's theater experience? How did you get into the theater?
Stephanie, as the theater elder, would you like to?
Oh, I am. I really am. So this will date me a bit, I think. I got into it when I was a kid. I went to my first show when I was 11, The Who's Tommy, which is not really an appropriate show for a child, but my grandma didn't really know what we were getting into. I enjoyed it.
It's
I think
a great
most
show.
of it went over my head. But that was my first show. And on Broadway, I used to watch a lot of movie musicals. And then I would go a lot with my family. And as I got older, go with my friends. And I'm a musical person, so I used to play instruments in pit orchestra in high school. So that's kind of my thing.
So Tory, what about you?
I guess mine is sort of similar, starting from the music part of it. When I was in junior high, I think I was in 8th grade, I almost auditioned for The Music Man, our school's production. I went to the first day of auditions. We learned 76 trombones, and then I never came back to actually do the audition. But then when I was in 9th grade, I joined the stage crew in high school, and I never stopped. So I think I really got into theater that way, and I started watching a lot of DVDs of theater when I was in high school, a lot of Sondheim DVDs, and that's really what started the passion, I guess.
So were you into musicals before you decided to join theater, or was...
I had seen a couple, and of course I'd seen a lot of movie musicals, but I wouldn't say I was into, I wasn't a theater kid until I started in high school, I would say.
Okay. And Steph, were you a theater kid, or
I
you were
was
a
not.
band kid?
No, I was a band kid, yeah. So we started band in elementary school, and then naturally progressed into eventually when I was in high school, you'd have the opportunity to play in pit orchestras and the school productions and some local theater groups.
Oh, I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, so the theater, the pit in our high school was a combination of student players and probably music teachers that were friends of the band director and whoever was the musical director of the show. There were a couple of local churches that would have a little community theater that would sometimes need
Did you perform in any of those?
Yeah, so I played a combination of clarinet with saxophone, so either alto or tenor. So I was one of those people that had what they do with the winds. You get one book and you're playing 3 or 4 instruments, and it's super fun. Yeah, usually I was playing a clarinet and 1 saxophone.
Are there any memorable musicals that you performed for?
I really enjoyed, because it was one of my favorite movie musicals ever. It still is Guys and Dolls. My high school did when I think I was a junior or a senior in high school. So I played clarinet and tenor and tenor sax. So that was one of my favorites, just because I loved I knew all the music already from seeing it. So
you get to play songs you already love.
Yeah, and then my friends were in the show, so I was
That's gotta be fun.
So it was fun, yeah, to accompany everybody.
Nice. Oh, me?
What about you, Alex? How did you get into theater?
I was a very late theater bloomer. I wasn't in band in school. I wasn't in the theater group at all, but I love movies. So, and my dad loves musicals, so he showed me a lot of musical movies. So I guess new movies is how I really still is most of my theater musical experience. I didn't see my first musical until I was like 18, and it was the first tour of Book of Mormon.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, very late. So one thing I wanted to ask you both is, I'm not from New York, so is being from New York, do you think that influenced your appreciation for theater, being closer to Broadway? Going to Broadway was not an option for me growing up, so I'm sure like in high school you probably have trips to Broadway, like a field trip.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
They start actually in our school district. The elementary, like the 5th grade class would go. I don't think my class got to go my 5th grade year. I can't remember, but I know my sister's class did. So it starts even younger than high school. I saw Miss Saigon on a class trip in high school, like with the social studies department, you're so close that there's like any excuse to go see a show. You could do it.
I think Steph has a little bit different experience than me in that regard because she's from Nassau County. So it's a little bit easier to go see shows. So when I was in high school, I went on a couple of trips with Chorus to go see shows. We saw Catch Me If You Can, and we saw The Little Mermaid and Newsies, I think were the 3 I went to see. And there was a trip that I never got to go on to see Les Mis that the AP history classes would go on. Not a lot of trips into the city, but I definitely would say it's more accessible if you live in New York. Like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a ballerina, so I got to go see The Nutcracker one time, and that was really the only live performance that I saw until I moved here and was in high school and could go by myself. But then when I was in high school, friends and I would like go see shows all the time because it's not such a dangerous trek when it's only an hour train ride away.
Yeah, we used to just hop on a train. And one summer I saw Rent 3 times, and I was putting all my playbills into this new app that Tory introduced me to called Mezzanine. It's
a great app.
And I was like, wow, this one year, like all we would do, we'd be bored, we'd just hop on the train. Train was really cheap too. It was like less than $10 round trip. And then you would just walk to the theater, see what was cheap on the ticket board. Or Rent had like $30 rush tickets or something like that for students. It was really cheap.
They began the rush ticket trend. They started it because the show was so popular with young people who couldn't afford to go see it.
But you definitely get spoiled living this close to Broadway. I was thinking of that watching Matilda which we'll talk about later, because I saw Matilda on Broadway and I saw it on the afternoon of the Tonys. And then I got home and watched the Tonys, and there's all the people, all the kids, especially I was like blown away with. They were all like, on the Tonys stage dancing. I was like, wow, it's really cool that I got to see them this afternoon perform, and now they're on the Tonys, doing their thing.
So what was your first Broadway experience? Do you remember what your first show was?
I definitely do. In a time where Andrew Lloyd Webber is very relevant, my first show was The Woman in White, which is a show from 2006, and it's based on a mystery novel from the 1800s by Wilkie Collins called The Woman in White, and it only played for 3 months. It was one of his shortest productions ever because it wasn't very good, but there's this thing called Kids Night on Broadway that they still do, where you can get buy one, get one free tickets to a Broadway show, so that you are an adult and you can take your child to go see a show, and a lot of shows participate. So I think my aunt took me, and I don't know why we picked this show, but it's a weird show. But
that happens a lot though, especially when you're getting discount tickets.
Yeah.
Back in the day, there wasn't like all this social media and like hype about it. You were just kind of like, oh,
I'll go see whatever.
This show sounds fine, and it's only $40, and you would get cheap seats.
It's the guy who did Cats.
Yeah,
this should be okay.
Yeah, it'll be good.
And you think I feel like a stereotypical first show would be like The Lion King, or Wicked or something like that. But
those shows are hard to get tickets for, and they're expensive.
Yeah, I guess so. So when I was 12 or 13, my first show was Andrew Lloyd Webber's The Woman in White.
I've never even heard of this, and I am pretty familiar with his work. I haven't even heard of this play. They must have been trying to erase it from history.
It's a very gothic mystery. It's set in the English countryside, and I think there's a murder and a case of mistaken identity. The book's probably very good, but they were trying to get really creative with the set as well, and they had all these projections on moving screens that was supposed to be this was going to be the next big thing in theater set design, but it didn't look good. And it was confusing to watch. But, I had never seen a live play on stage really before, so I had a great time.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you really anything that happened in the show. There's a train that comes towards the audience at the end, and someone gets hit by a train. Spoiler alert for this old show. But, you know, your first show is special even if it's not good, I guess.
Yeah. My first show was amazing. I saw...
The Book of Mormon tour.
Well, that wasn't on Broadway.
Oh, right.
That was at PPAC, the Providence Performing Arts Center. You know, world-renowned PPAC. My first Broadway show wasn't until like 2016, I think, and it was Waitress.
Oh.
But I saw the first cast with...
Sarah Bareilles.
The first...
Oh, she was... Jessie Muller?
Jessie Muller, yeah. Who was so phenomenal. Like, of course, that was my first Broadway show, so I had no idea how talented people like actually were. So I go to this, Broadway, which is already just spectacular to begin with. I think I'd only been to New York City like once or twice before at that point, so I was already like so overwhelmed. And then these singers who are just the most talented people in the world just start belting at you, and I was like getting so choked up. Like it was floored me.
Just from the experience.
Just for the whole experience. Yeah. If I was in 5th grade going to see that,
Mind blown.
It would have blown my mind, yeah. So what about you, Steph? What was your first Broadway
Mine
show?
was The Who's Tommy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you already mentioned that. Sorry.
So it was like 1993 or something like that. It was a long time ago. I don't remember a ton about the actual show. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the experience. I remember I stayed at my grandma's house the night before. She was in Queens, and we took the bus. She doesn't live in a part of Queens that like is super easy to get to the city room. So we took the bus all the way in, and we probably got food or something at some point, I imagine, because that was always a big deal about going to the theater. You got to dinner or lunch. And then we saw the show. I remember being concerned that the theater had signs that there was going to be like loud explosions or something. So I was like, oh my God, what are we going to see? And then it was fine. It wasn't really anything startling, but the story itself is just, it's not like a kid's show. But I didn't know that. I was only 11, so I didn't get half of it, I'm sure. They're supposed to be apparently they're going to be doing a revival.
Oh, really?
I don't know if it's going to happen, but there was some talk about it. I was like, well, I have to go. And I still have my souvenir baseball hat that my grandma bought me, which I don't know how. I didn't plan on saving it. I just found it one day in a closet. I was like, wow, my first Broadway souvenir.
Baseball cap
Baseball
from
hat.
The Who's Tommy.
Yeah.
That's probably worth a pretty penny right now.
Or nothing.
If they do the revival, you have to wear the cap when you go.
I'll go
see. And I have the real cap, everyone.
Cap.
Look at my cap.
Super fan.
I have a tangential question based off Tommy. How does everyone feel about soapbox musicals as like a subgenre of musicals?
Jukebox musicals?
What is it? What did I say?
Soapbox.
Oh, yeah.
Soapbox. This is a subgenre.
I'm getting up on
These
my
are really-
soapbox, and they're really
these are really
preaching
preachy.
to you.
I mean, those musicals do exist.
But a jukebox where it's like
jukebox musical.
pre-existing songs that they collect and put a story around.
Yes.
They're not my favorite.
Yeah, they're not my favorite either.
I think it's a quick buck.
It is, and I'm so, like, I like the original music, so I get a little bit worried that it's going to be terrible. And it makes me not want to go see it, necessarily, because I'm like, well, I don't want it to ruin
the songs,
these songs for me.
I'm not sure I've actually ever seen a jukebox musical. Like, I've never seen Mamma Mia or anything like that. I'm not totally opposed to going to see one, because there's one open right now, Anne Juliet, that's supposed to be very good, and it takes a lot of like late 90s, early 2000 pop songs and puts them in like a Romeo and Juliet setting. And I've heard really good things about it, so I'm open to seeing a jukebox musical. But like, if I wanted to listen to the songs, I would just listen to the
Are they like orchestral versions of the songs, or are they just the songs?
In Anne Juliet, I think they judge them up. Like, I think it might be like
mashups, like
Moulin Rouge.
is all mashups.
Moulin Rouge is all mashups of songs, and I think this might be similar to that, or it might just be reorchestrations to like fit them in the world of the show better. I'm not sure. My thing that I've been trying to do recently when I go to see shows is go in like not knowing anything. Yeah, I used to mostly go see shows that I knew all the words to already or had seen a DVD of, but I've been trying to do more of like, I'm just gonna like let the experience be very, I don't know anything before I go. So I'm not looking up musicals these days to find out the details first. So since I'm planning on seeing it at some point, I have no clue, but I think they it's not just they play a backing track from Britney Spears and then just do a Britney Spears impression on top. But I'm interested to find out.
That's $1 billion idea, what you just said right there. That would run for 10 years, I think, especially now.
Just take their concert recordings and just sort of do some stuff on top of it.
Free, the Britney Spears story, and it would run for 15 years.
Well, they're doing another Britney musical.
No.
Wait, another?
I didn't know that,
Yeah, I think it's called... I don't remember what it's called.
There's one already?
It's about this year. It's scheduled to. They're doing a lot. There's like 3 Gatsby musicals on their way. Like Broadway's having a moment right now.
Not a good one, it sounds like.
If you like Gatsby.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the jukebox musicals. They seem kind of just like an easy thing, but I mean, if it gets people to go to the theater, I guess it's good for the theater overall.
That's true.
But I saw the Carole King musical. What is it called? Beautiful.
Yeah. Also with Jessie Muller, right?
Yes, I don't think I saw it with her in it. Or maybe I did. I don't know. It was good, but they didn't do anything. They didn't change the songs. They were just playing the songs. You know, any Broadway experience is pretty breathtaking anyways, so it was a good experience. But I don't know. If you love the music, I guess I could see you'd get more out of it, but...
I'm curious, maybe you guys will agree. I feel like maybe there's a little bit of it, there's 2 categories of jukebox musicals. There's the, beautiful Carole King one, or A Beautiful Noise, I think right now, the Neil Diamond one that's open.
Oh, yeah.
Or MJ, where it's just straight up the songs, but it's also...
about the person.
Right, they're doing the songs that way because they're telling the story of the person, which I feel like I give a little more leeway to than, here's a bunch of random songs... and let's create some discombobulated story around it. I feel like that's worse.
I don't know. I saw Moulin Rouge. Did you see Moulin Rouge?
No.
Moulin Rouge, the movie musical was one of my favorites back in the day. And that had only a handful of songs that were from other, already made music, mashed up into medleys. There wasn't a mashup. I don't think they coined that term yet. But that musical, the Broadway musical, was insane because it was just... way more music to fill up a full 2 hours, and it was they would just take a line or two sometimes from this song here, this song there, and to make a whole musical around that, it kind of blew me away. It wasn't I don't think I would want to see that all the time, but it was really cool especially for Moulin Rouge, because the movie was already kind of made like that, so it made sense, and the story was already there, so they were still telling the story of Moulin Rouge that you were familiar with.
But they
just made more music
to make what they needed for the show.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
So it worked for that show. I don't know if it would work for every show.
I guess we're undecided about jukebox.
We'd have to see.
This doesn't help me decide.
No, it depends. It really depends, I guess, on what it is.
So, what's everyone's favorite Broadway musical experience?
Experience or favorite show? Because that could be 2 different things.
You can interpret the question however you like.
Okay.
I have a couple of favorites from over the years that are just I think they'll just always be my favorites. Rent, because I saw it so many times. It was very in the moment of the early aughts, and the whole experience of growing up and going into the city to see that with my friends.
It's sort of like a period show right now, all these years later, but you got to see it at the time.
And we still go see it together. It was at CW Post actually right before COVID hit. That was one of the last things I saw before the lockdown. And me and my best friend went, so we were we have to go see this. And it was fantastic. The touring show was fantastic. So that always will be, I think, one of my number ones. And I love She Loves Me, which nobody knows about. And I only saw it because Zachary Levi and the other cast.
She loves Zachary Levi.
And that's how I was introduced to Gavin Creel, who I love now. And I would go see anything he's in. Had a fantastic cast, fantastic music. It was a revival of a show nobody really...
It's from the 60s, I think,
right? It's a fantastic musical. Yeah, I don't remember. And it's based on the same story that You've Got Mail, Little Shop Around the Corner. It's all the same story. And it was great. The set was great. The cast was great. So it's one of my all-time favorites now. And it was only around for a few months.
Alex, what about you?
Well, I had an answer, and then I just realized it wasn't on Broadway. I was going to say Hamilton, but
that's fine.
I saw it in Chicago.
It counts.
It's a musical experience.
Musical experience. That was my favorite musical experience because it was Hamilton, and going to see Hamilton was a huge expense for us, so it was a super special treat for my wife and I, and we were huge fans we listened to the CD over and over and over again, so we knew all the songs, and that was just such a thrill. That was a great experience. I guess on Broadway... for my birthday, I saw Avenue Q, and it was a surprise. So we went out to dinner in New York, and my brother, my mom, and my brother's girlfriend all showed up, and I'm like, oh, so like weird. I didn't piece it together. I'm very slow.
What are you guys doing
exactly.
here?
And my wife surprised me with tickets to go see Avenue Q, so that was really fun. That's a really, really fun show. And I guess it was like it ended up being like their last year doing it because they shut down right after we saw it. So I'm glad I got to see that in person. That's a really funny show. I also saw the SpongeBob musical in the
You saw that?
in the front row.
Wow.
Yeah.
VIP.
That was quite an experience.
I've heard good things.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a huge SpongeBob fan. It was just went on a whim and it was a lot of fun.
Well, I think sometimes that's all that I just want to be really entertained for a couple hours and enjoy the experience.
Very entertaining.
Sometimes it doesn't have to be like some monumental piece of art.
And sometimes
if you
don't have expectations, it will hit you even harder and be even better because you're like, well, this could be a terrible show. I'm not going to expect anything out of it. And then they're like, no, SpongeBob is a great show. I had a similar experience with Shrek the Musical. I didn't have any expectations going in to see that, really. Everyone in my age group really knows Shrek, so I knew Shrek. But that's a really fun show. And I saw it in the middle of a blizzard. I was like, should I even be going to see the show today? It seems like a bad idea, but it was totally worth it.
Did they play Smash Mouth?
Sadly, there is no Smash Mouth in that. They should have made it more of a jukebox musical.
Yeah.
They didn't do a smash up?
No. But, what is it? There's that DVD special feature of the Swamp Karaoke from...
Oh, yeah. Was that the second one, I think?
I think so. They didn't throw that in there. But the songs are great. The plot is Shrek. But it translated really well to stage, surprisingly. And there's a lot of emotion in it, a lot of deep moments that you wouldn't expect from Shrek. But
so that was the pinnacle of Broadway experience for you.
I don't know if it's the pinnacle. It was definitely a great Broadway experience. I think you also named some just general favorite shows. My favorite show is Sunday in the Park with George by Stephen Sondheim. Rest in peace. I'm a huge Sondheim fan.
You don't say.
If you've gone to see a show with me, you probably know that. But Sunday in the Park with George is my favorite show, and Company is another great show. They're two of his older shows. Sunday in the Park with George is from the 80s. They've had revivals recently that were really good. Sunday in the Park with George, they did one with Jake Gyllenhaal as George Surratt, the painter, and he did a great job. That was a great Broadway experience for me.
I've only seen the movie of the making of Company.
Yeah, there is a documentary of that.
And it is a hoot. Mm-hmm. It's actually hilarious. Documentary Now, the TV show, does a perfect impression of that documentary.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
It's so funny. Okay, awesome. So it was Tuesdays in the Park with George.
Sunday in the Park with George.
Tuesdays with Maury in the Park.
Tuesdays with... Yep.
That's not a play I'd want to go see.
I mean, hey, we've already... Anything could surprise us and be good. We don't know.
That's true. I'll keep an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask about your least favorite experience, but...
we can talk about that.
That's very recent for us, I think.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Should we save that for after the break?
Let's get into that after the break.
Okay. I only have one more question. What's a show that you wish you had seen but have not seen?
I have an answer.
I think I know what Tori's answer is.
We've talked about it recently, and you brought this show up, Les Mis. I never got to see Les Mis. It went away and came back. I still didn't get to see it. We were supposed to go on that field trip when I was in high school, but they closed the show the year that I was taking the class that always went to go see it. And I was never more disappointed by anything in my life. And I never made it to any... it's on tour right now across the country. I was thinking, maybe I could go to Philadelphia and catch it. I have not seen it. So that's my white whale, is that I've never seen Les Mis. And also, the 2006 production of Company, that starring Raúl Esparza, which is available on DVD, which is out of print. But it was one of my first exposures to a musical. I watched it a million times in high school. But it would have been awesome to see it in person. The performers played the instruments themselves on stage for all the songs. It was very cool. I think John Doyle directed it, and he likes to do that with his shows, have them play on the stage.
Wow. What about you, Steph?
I don't have anything that I can remember that's that devastating. I remember being sad I didn't see the first revival of Guys and Dolls. That was in mid-90s or something like that. I was old enough that to know it was going on, but I wasn't quite going to the theater myself yet. So I didn't get a chance to go. And that was like one of my all-time favorite movie musicals. So I was a little disappointed. And I still kind of listened to that cast recording. I'm like, the one that got away. And then I wish I'd gotten a chance to see Hamilton with the original cast. I only went to see Hamilton right after, when Broadway reopened. That was the first thing I got to see. I was like, well, there's available tickets, don't cost $1 million. I guess I got to go see it right now. And it was amazing. And then I started listening. I don't usually see or listen to shows before I go see them. I don't want it to like affect my view of the live performance. But I did watch the recording of Hamilton that they put on one of the streaming services. So
Disney
Plus.
Yeah.
So I had seen just that, and then I did not listen to it anymore until I went to see it, and then I started listening to the original cast recording like crazy, and that made me kind of wish that I got to see them.
Hamilton would have been on my list too. I actually didn't even think of that. I guess my answer, again, I didn't think about this when I wrote it down. It's not a musical, it's a play. And I actually did have tickets to it. It was in 2016. It was The Front Page with Nathan Lane, John Goodman, and John Slattery. So we had tickets. We were still living in Rhode Island at the time, my wife and I. And we had tickets to the show. This was like a huge expense, like a big deal for us. We start driving to New York to go to the play, and a hurricane hits.
Oh, no.
The highways had like 3 inches of snow. We get stuck in Connecticut, and we ended up going to Mystic Aquarium instead because we got stuck in Mystic. So we never got to go. And I'm a huge Nathan Lane fan, so I was like dying to see this. And I guess if it just wasn't meant to be, but
I think you might have the most tragic, missed connection of Broadway out of all three of us, because you were about to see it.
Yeah.
You were going there.
But the aquarium was nice.
Were you looking at that fish like that could have been Nathan Lane? I could have been looking at.
My head just pressed against the jellyfish glass. Just sorrow.
Thinking of what could have been.
I wish I could have seen it, but oh well.
Missed opportunities.
Let's
end on a low note before the break.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Take some time, Alex.
All right, we're back. Now, we hinted to this in the last segment. What is your worst theater-going experience?
There's one that stands out.
So, this is my fault that this happened, but
yes, it is.
The new Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, in quotes, Bad Cinderella. I mean, I guess actually it's probably not a great idea for us to slam Andrew Lloyd Webber's newest show on the internet, but
he's a listener.
He's an avid listener of the
He'll
podcast.
be upset.
Yeah,
if he hears it.
But he could take the notes.
He needs
I guess
constructive criticism. It's still in previews.
We bought the tickets for this back in the fall because I saw that it was coming out, and I had heard a lot of bad things about it. It closed unceremoniously on the West End where it played originally, and I was like, Steph, we have to go see this terrible show. And she said, sure, why not?
Worst decision I've ever made.
So we bought tickets to the first preview, the very first time it was playing on the stage here. And, I mean, it was exciting to be at the first preview.
Yeah, that was my first preview, so
Same.
That was fun.
We saw Andrew Lloyd Webber. We got free buttons.
Yeah, we saw Andrew Lloyd Webber.
She made eye contact with Andrew Lloyd Webber.
I played it cool.
Very cool.
I wish I saw him after the show. That would have been more interesting.
She was shaking her fist at him.
Was he in a top hat and cape, I hope?
No, he was just in regular.
He didn't want anybody to recognize him, so he had to leave the top hat. But
Tweedberg sweatpants.
The monocle. Yeah. But, so I guess I'll explain what the show is a little bit. Bad Cinderella, if I can. Bad Cinderella is... God.
It's a retelling of Cinderella.
It's a retelling of the story of Cinderella, but there's no lesson in it to be learned. They remove any sort of learning moment that you could have, and instead they insert absurdity into every part of it. So it's like she lives in this town where everyone's beautiful, and she's really ugly and gross.
But she wasn't.
She just wore pants, and that was her.
She was a misfit.
Yeah.
And she's best friends with this prince,
who's not Prince Charming.
He's the secondary prince of the royal family, but his brother disappeared, so now he has to take up the throne. And his mom says, you must get married in order to be on the throne. You got to do it. We're going to have a ball this weekend. And he's like, Cinderella, you got to come to this ball for me. And she's
they also spend like a lot of the beginning just talking about how he's like the worst and not Prince Charming, but he's like the nice guy, and Prince Charming sounds kind of terrible.
His whole thing is he's just a guy, and so he's not very desirable. But
they really enforce that he's kind of like
a schmo,
the lame brother.
But the problem that ends up happening is she decides to become very beautiful to go to the ball, as the Cinderella story requires her to do. And she's like super into being pretty now, but he doesn't like that.
But it's also just everything was just didn't really make sense. Mm-hmm. They just kind of like changed settings, and we're like, wait, where are they right now? What's happening? Oh, and there's a fairy godmother, and there's really weird songs that were really long, and then they'd be over, and then they would reprise them.
They would immediately do a reprise.
Like, we just listened to this for 5 minutes, and it was all just very confusing and bizarre. It was like, I said it was like watching a fever dream or something. I'm like, what is happening?
There was a part while we were sitting there watching it, and I wasn't laughing at any of it, and it was supposed to be comedic, and that's never happened to me before. But a character like said something, and Steph turned to me and out loud said, "That didn't make any sense." I was like, none of this makes any sense.
You know what was even weirder? A lot of people in the audience seemed really into it. And we were like, is it us?
We were sitting near a group of bad Cinderella super fans who were like wearing shirts.
Came from London.
Yeah.
They were wooing like every 5 seconds. We're like, no, this is, just let them sing.
Maybe this will just become like a Rocky Horror Picture Show sort of
musical. That's like blasphemous. It's a Rocky Horror Picture Show. You cannot.
I've seen a surprising amount of like, people were like, this wasn't as bad as you all said it was. And I was like, it really is, though.
We saw some guys on the subway who were like, you saw it too? And we were about to be like, yeah, wasn't it terrible? And they were like, wasn't it amazing?
We loved it.
And we were like, well, we're really glad you enjoyed it.
It was
like, I didn't want to hurt their feelings, but it was...
Are you too highbrow, or have you just lost touch with what the zeitgeist of the theater world?
It was a really confusing, like, is it us or is it them?
I don't think it was us, though.
But I think, for me, the problem I had with it, besides that it wasn't very good, was... So the story of Cinderella has been done as a musical really well several times. There's there's Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, which is a great version of Cinderella. There's Disney Cinderella, which everyone knows. So why did Andrew Lloyd Webber need to do his own? And why couldn't the lyricist and the book writer and everyone involved make it really good? You know, that sounds mean, but you know, if it's been done really well, you have to have a good reason to do it again. And it didn't feel like this was a good reason to do it again.
Yeah, I had a hard time with the lyrics and the songwriting in particular. I would say at one point I said the instrumental,
beautiful,
the entr'acte was like, the music was gorgeous. It didn't really go with the rest of the show, and the words, like, there was nothing like catchy about any of the songs. They were a bit abrasive sometimes. We were just like, whoa.
And the audience for the show was very unclear. There were children there, but there were really adult themes in it.
Yes, very.
So it
Which
just
is fine. Like, some kids are more mature and can handle it, but it was just, it's not a kid's show per se.
So what was the bad referring to? Does she like get revenge on the
stepsisters? She's bad. She does like graffiti on stuff, so she's always like causing her family like.
And she's bad because everyone is supposed to be pretty, and she is not trying to be pretty.
Yeah, so she wasn't really bad. The rest of the town, it was like one of those things where it's like everyone else is kind of terrible, and her and the prince that they all make fun of
are supposed to be the good ones.
They're the
normal ones.
They're the normal ones, but everyone hates them because they're like not horrible people.
It sounds like an easy fix would be Cinderella, in trying to fit in, becomes bad, but then the secondary prince, whatever his name is, the Sebastian is the lead character of the play, and he is trying to convince his friend to like return to her roots and be her true self.
You don't need to change yourself.
But things happened very quickly too. We were like, wait, all of a sudden she changed her mind. How do I even explain it? I don't know, because it was so confusing. The fairy, like, things happened, there was no consequence. Like, fairy godmother's like, hey, you have to be back at midnight.
And then she
doesn't, nothing happens. And she, all of a sudden, it was almost like the love story, the romance, like, we're friends, but now we're in love. Like, everything just happened very abruptly.
Choppily, maybe.
It was like, there wasn't, maybe they need to work on that.
I agree with you, Alex, that, like, there's ways that are, they could easily fix some parts of this and make it, like, a story that makes sense and it has a good through line, but I don't know that was their intention.
Yeah.
Wasn't it called just Cinderella?
It was just called Cinderella originally, but the big, like, show-stopping song of it is she's singing "Call Me Bad Cinderella" because she's bad, but
she wasn't bad.
You know, she's not that bad. She's really not that bad. She's a little emo maybe, but she's not that bad.
Seems like they were influenced by like the new Cruella movie.
Yeah, sort of that vibe.
Kind of like that vibe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have to say though, I went into it thinking like. We were expecting it to be kind of not great because of London. But I was like, I want it to be so bad. I don't want it to just be mediocre because then I'll be kind of like, well, that was a waste of money. Yeah. So I wanted it to be really good or really bad. So I guess I got what I wanted because
it gave us a lot to talk about.
It did, yeah.
The one argument I've seen for saying that it was good is that it's very campy, like... Mm-hmm. Maybe sort of self-aware of the badness and leaning into it, which I guess there's an argument to be made for that. And I listened to the London cast did a recording of all the songs, and I'm not going to lie, they are kind of catchy. I listened to it 2 days after we saw it, and I remembered every song.
Really?
Like I was able to sing along.
You left, and I didn't remember one thing.
I remember the songs, and they made a lot of changes from the London version to here, so I feel like it was very intentional in a way. But, you know... Not everything is for everyone, so I think it was intentional in a way that didn't work for me.
Yes.
No hate if you like Bad Cinderella, though.
We'll see if this one outlasts the white, what is it?
The Woman in White.
The Woman in White.
See if it makes it past 3 months.
I was like, no.
Right. That's a different show.
Yeah.
Do you think he's just getting old and just out of touch, or he needs more producers kind of directing him a little bit?
So you've seen, I think, more of his shows than I have.
I've seen 2.
Oh. So the only other one I've seen, I think, is Phantom. I did not like Phantom. I never saw Cats because it never seemed to appeal to me.
We're getting into controversial theater opinions
I'm
right
not
now.
Like, maybe he's just not for me. Like someone I know really likes Sondheim, and it's just not my favorite, but I don't not enjoy the shows I go see. You know, it's like people have different tastes. And I just have a feeling like his style is just not my style.
I like Jesus Christ Superstar, the film. I've never seen any of his stuff live, but I don't like anything else really by him. So he's hit or miss, I guess.
Have you seen a slight tangent, have you seen the Jesus Christ Superstar live that they did on TV with John Legend and Sarah Bareilles? That was really good, I thought.
I thought it was very good.
But I think the thing about Andrew Lloyd Webber, I think people give him, including us right now, we give him a little too much crap because he is only doing the music, like the instrumental music, which is almost always impeccable. And it's the lyrics in the book and the production of it that we can criticize and say is bad. So, you know, he's the big name behind his shows, but he's not doing all of the things that we hate about them.
I did like the instrumental portions.
Right. And that's what he did. So we can say...
I guess I was thinking of him as the director. That's really the director's job.
Right.
He's just like usually the biggest name that runs through the shows that he does.
So he can do good music for a show, but sometimes the vision gets muddled when everything else comes together and it's not quite what we're looking for. But you could listen to the songs and appreciate the sound of it.
I forgot that I saw School of Rock, and he did School of Rock. And
I
love that one. So I do like one of his musicals.
And he had good subject matter to start with for that, I would say. Yeah, people like that movie.
Definitely. Okay, so that was your worst experience.
We've had like other worst theater going experiences where it's just like we've had weird audience experiences.
That's what I thought you were going to go with.
But you kind of take that with a grain of salt. In terms of shows, I think that was my worst show experience.
Yeah. We did have... What else did we see? Oh, we saw Some Like It Hot recently. This is not 2022, but we saw it in January.
Which was fantastic.
The show was okay. But A woman yelled at me in the audience because I asked her to put her phone away. She had her phone out for the whole first act, so I tapped her and I said, "Excuse me, could you please put your phone away?" She started going off at me.
In the middle of a song?
During a song. And props to the house staff, because I went up to them during intermission and said, "Hey, this woman yelled at me. Can you do something about it?" And they moved us down to really good orchestra seats.
The 5th row.
So I would actually call that a good experience.
That was a good experience. And that woman, in our defense, that woman had been spoken to by the ushers a couple times. There was 3 women together.
Yeah.
And they had all been spoken to about, please don't use your cell phones in the middle of the performance.
So that's been the worst in the past few years, as people had
the high school kid sitting behind us that, like, it was his first show, and he was reacting to it as if he was doing, like, YouTube reactions the whole time. Like, oh, whoa, no way. Like, Leah Michelle is singing, belting her heart out, and he's like,
whoa,
yes, oh my God. And we're like, you can't just shout out in the middle.
And he was beatboxing along to Funny Girl.
So, didn't Jen talk to
their teacher? Our director spoke to them.
Talk to their teacher, who's sitting on, like, the other side of the row. Didn't know he was exclaiming the whole time. She was so nice because she's like, we love that he's enjoying theater. We love it. But
we are also trying to watch the show.
Like, let him know that he can't just shout out. And he was better the second half.
He was. The rest of them were not.
But he did really enjoy it because at intermission, he thought it was over. And he was, like, upset because he was enjoying himself so much. And it's like, no, it's just intermission. So
the audiences can be something else these days.
They can.
So what were some other notable plays, musicals that
some
you
of the
saw?
Good stuff we saw?
Some of the good stuff you saw, maybe in 2022 and even more recently.
I had a couple that I wanted to call out that I really enjoyed. 3 in particular. One of the first ones that I saw coming out of the height of the pandemic was Hadestown, which is from 2019, but I saw it in early 2022, and I saw it twice last year, and I wanted to go see it a third time, so that's how much I enjoyed it. It's sort of like a folk or Americana take on the Greek myth of Eurydice and Orpheus.
Say no more.
Everyone's favorite Greek myth.
Very uplifting.
Well, I wasn't familiar with the myth going into it, which is, like I said, it's my MO is I'm trying not to learn too much about the show before I see it. So I had no expectations. And it's a very simple set. It looks sort of like a speakeasy or a bar from like the 20s or 30s. And the band is on stage. The band is on stage for the whole show. And they just take you through the story sort of in a way of their actors presenting it to you like they're aware of it kind of, but you get caught up in it, and they take this very simple set and it expands into more. They have things swinging from the ceiling. They've got things opening it up and closing, and it's just very, very well done the way they did it. I cried, and I was shocked by things that happened, gasped out loud. Although if you're familiar with the Greek myth, like apparently a lot of people are, you will not be surprised like I was, but that was part of why I liked it so much. Was I didn't know what was going to happen, and then was really shocked by what happened. And they do a lot of really diverse things with their casting. There's a group of characters called the Fates, which are like the Greek chorus, and traditionally it's 3 women who will be the Fates, but they've had men or non-binary people switch in and out of those roles, sometimes because of, illnesses in the cast. They have immediacies to fill the roles or whatever, but the main role of Hermes was played by Andre de Shields for the past few years, and when he left the show, they brought in a woman to play the part, Lilias White. So Lilias White took over the role from Andre de Shields and played the role of Hermes, who is sort of like presenting the tale to you, sort of the MC.
Sorry.
We'll just do this all over again. So what was your first theater experience?
So I really enjoy how like flexible the casting can be, and how it's like the basis of it is really simplistic, but it's just so well done. And quickly, 2 other shows that I really liked. I saw A Christmas Carol starring Jefferson Mays, which is not a musical, it's a play, but it's a one-man show version of A Christmas Carol, where he plays like 50 plus parts, and he is presenting the story to you. And it was so atmospheric and spooky. They lean into how scary that story is, and used a lot of effects and I don't know, just cool stuff to tell the story, and it was really effective. And I went to see it on a lark because I went to see 20 shows last year, and in December I was at 18, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to fit in 2 more. So I, on a whim, bought a ticket to see that to hit 20, and it was really good.
Sounds interesting.
I think you would really enjoy it. I recommend it to anybody, but definitely not a version of A Christmas Carol for kids at all. And the last one I wanted to mention was K-pop the musical, which is no longer with us. Listeners might not know, but everyone else knows I'm a big K-pop fan. So I just thought it was a really fun show. It felt like being at a real K-pop concert, but there was a story involved. The music was really convincing.
Was it jukebox or was it new music?
It was not jukebox. It was music in the style of K-pop. So the music and lyrics are by Helen Park and Max Vernon, and they had done it, I think they wrote it when they were in college and then developed it further later. Used to be off Broadway as an immersive show, but this was not immersive. But it was sort of like there was a stage in front of you, and there were 2 fake K-pop groups and a fake K-pop soloist, and it was the story of them coming to the U.S. to do a concert. So you were watching the concert performances, but you were also watching the behind the scenes of them preparing the concert and all of the drama that went on. And they had real K-pop idols from groups I enjoy who were part of the cast. So I was like fangirling in the audience. Luna from FX was there, and she's one of the best vocalists in K-pop. So it was very exciting, and I enjoyed it, even though almost no one else did, and it is closed.
Did you stage door?
I did. And I brought, one of the people in the show was a guy, his name is Kevin Wu, and he was in a group called UKISS that was also not the most popular group, but one of the first groups I ever got into. So I brought the last album they ever released, and I was like, Kevin, can you sign my album? And he was like, oh my gosh, you liked this song? So it was very fun for me. But if you're not a fan of K-pop, I can see why it would not be the most illuminating, but I thought it was really, it was just fun. It doesn't have to be good to be fun, but I also thought it was good. What about you? What did you enjoy last year?
I did not see as many shows as you last year, but my favorite, and I saw it twice, was The Music Man. And because I love those like classic musicals. And this one I got tickets for pre-COVID, and it got rescheduled twice. So I thought it was never going to happen. And I was so nervous that something was going to go wrong and I would miss the show. So when I finally got to see it, it was a huge relief. And of course, I had Hugh Jackman, who I love, and Sutton Foster, who I also love. I've seen her in a couple things, and that was like one of the reasons why I wanted to go. She's one of those people that I'd go see her in almost anything. It didn't disappoint. It was class, and I love the story behind it. I mean, how could I hate a musical where the main character is a librarian, and it's about like kids learning how to play music?
When you put it that way,
it's got me written all over it. So I really enjoyed it, and then I went to see it a second time because why not? And so because Tory, I feel like I got to enjoy it even more a second time because I was so nervous about getting to go see it that first time because the build up, 3 years I think I had to wait to see that show from buying the tickets. I think I got to enjoy it a little more the second time. So that was my favorite. We saw Into the Woods, so I'm not a huge, Sondheim's not my go-to, but I really enjoyed that one. And that one we saw it in City Center, right? Yeah.
Yeah, not technically
before
Broadway.
It went over to Broadway. And the cast was amazing. The show is great. I brought my sister, who isn't like super into theater, and but she really liked it too. So I feel like that's a good sign for a show when she's entertained. And it was a long show because I remember at intermission, she thought it was over, and I was like, no, that's just the intermission because it kind of ends. And it could be like just a one-act show.
Famously, people do think it's over after the first act. It sounds like she should meet up with those kids from Funny Girl. They should all go one act a bunch of shows and just leave.
That's it. So yeah, I did enjoy that because sometimes I feel like one of the reasons why I think that I'm not a huge Sondheim fan is because his shows are heavier. They're very dramatic and sometimes sad. And I want to go to the theater and see those like fun, upbeat things most of the time. So, yeah. So I really enjoyed this one.
Nice. I saw 0 musicals.
But you've seen some movie musicals, right?
Yes. I'm trying to think. No, maybe I didn't. This year, at least.
That's true.
But movie musicals I've seen a bunch in my lifetime. Should we talk about some of our favorites?
Yeah, I'm curious. Mm-hmm. I think as the big movie buff, you've probably got at least me beat on movie musicals. So maybe. I want to know your opinions.
I've seen tons and tons, but I just want to talk about my favorites. I already mentioned Jesus Christ Superstar. I think that's just a great movie. It's very fun. Little Shop of Horrors. That might be one of the first musical movies I saw that really got me hooked. Because it's funny, it's got like sci-fi crazy elements to it, and the music's great too. And Music Man we already mentioned. My son is already hooked on Music Man, and he's 2, so I've already started his musical.
Destined for the stage.
Yes, and he's a ham too. So
or the Pit. You never know.
Or the Pit. Yeah.
Destined for the theater.
He's absolutely destined for the theater. But when your band played 76 trombones at our fan fest last year, he still talks about it. So he loved that.
He's so cute.
But my favorite movie musical is Fiddler on the Roof. I can't really explain why. I still remember the first time I ever saw it. I was home sick from school. I was probably a freshman in high school, somewhere around that age, and was just laid out on the couch, couldn't move. Turned on the TV. It must have been playing on like AMC or something, and I was just too tired or nothing else was on. I'm like, okay, I'll watch this. And I was riveted. It's so good. And I think I've seen it maybe a dozen times since then. I love the music. I love Tevier, the character. He's one of my favorite characters in film. I think he has a lot of depth, a lot of layers. I relate to him. Yeah, the music's great. The actual directing, like the movie itself looks beautiful. It's just a great movie. So that might be my favorite. What about you guys?
I've never seen Fiddler, and there's been a couple productions of it in the last few years, and every time I'm like, I guess I should probably see Fiddler.
But one all in Yiddish.
Yeah, and that got great reviews, but I'll have to check out the movie. Because Alex has definitely told me multiple times that it's very good.
It is
so
very good.
I think my movie musicals are pretty basic, and I see a lot more on-stage musicals than I do movie ones. But I think I'll start with number 1. I think number 1 has got to be Grease, in terms of like a really well done musical movie adaptation of a musical. Like, everyone's seen Grease.
Classic.
The songs are great, the characters, the casting was perfect, even though Rizzo was not in high school, clearly, and neither was Kaneki. None of them were high school.
None of them were in high school. They were all like 40 years old.
You just can't beat like the iconic casting and performances, and Grease is one of those movies that I could watch it like every time it comes on TV. I won't change the channel because Grease is on. You have to watch it. So I think that's a top one for me. I wanted to include a Disney one because I think Disney movie musicals count.
I should have mentioned that's where my musicals started.
I think a lot of people, yeah. Which almost makes you just disregard them as like not even counting. But right. Instead of going with a classic one, I thought of Encanto, which is a recent movie, but everyone knows I really enjoyed it. Lin-Manuel Miranda was definitely Lin-Manuel Miranda-ing in this movie, but in a way that really worked. And the songs are really memorable. So I really liked Encanto. And then I wanted to bring up Rocky Horror Picture Show because I can't think of a lot of examples where a musical got turned into a movie and then the most prolific live performances of it that you can find are just people watching the movie. The live casts of the movie where people will perform in front of it while it plays. What other musical does that happen with? Usually, people prefer the stage adaptation, but
have you been to one of those performances before?
I have in college when I did theater in college too, stage crew, but one of the theater groups at my school did a live performance cast of it, and it's so much fun with like people are throwing toast at the screen and like it's
climbing up the tie. Yep. I remember that.
It's just so fun, and there's not a lot where you can say the movie did it better, and I think Rocky Horror, maybe the movie did it better.
Yeah, I remember I saw it in high school with a live performance in front of the movie, and it was a blast. Like it was the perfect time to see it too for the first time. And they if it's your first time seeing it, I don't know if this was the same for you. They bring you up on stage and they
embarrass you.
They embarrass you in front of everyone. And I went to go see it with 3 of my friends, and it was all of our first time seeing it, but I was the only one who
admitted it.
So yeah, got the extra layer of embarrassment in front of my friends, but it was so much fun.
It's something like everyone should go to one of the live Rocky Horrors like at least one time, I think.
Yes. Just
to see what it's like. Maybe don't raise your hand when they ask if it's your first time.
Don't bring your kids.
No, do not bring your kids.
Lots of fun though.
And those are my movie musicals.
I have a hard time picking them because I love movie musicals, especially the older ones. But I think I'd probably have to say is a tie between Guys and Dolls and Annie. Because I watched Annie. That was like, we had a recording of it taped off of TV, and I would just watch it constantly, pre-YouTube days. That's what I would watch, just like on repeat. I feel like my whole childhood.
The Bernadette Peters, Tim Curry.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. So that's still one of my favorites, just because of like nostalgia, I think. And I've seen it on Broadway when it was last on Broadway. I haven't watched the newer movies of it because I don't want to be disappointed in the new movies, so I kind of like avoided them. But I still love Guys and Dolls. I love the music in it. And for the newer ones, I really love The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, that was fun.
The music's fantastic.
You're just a Hugh Jackman fan.
I love Hugh Jackman. How could you not?
She's a huge Jackman fan.
Huge. So.
And we're gonna take a break.
But also, so not just the music. So I have the film itself was very cool to watch. As I studied film in college, and so I still love just movies where you're just kind of like mesmerized and blown away sometimes. And when it's like a big musical, I kind of want to be wowed like that, and I could watch it over and over again. I think it's so much fun.
It seems like it's sort of a throwback, like the spectacle of it to I haven't seen it, but to the 90s and 80s mega musicals, like Ragtime and Phantom and Les Mis, where it's just like the whole thing is like a big visual treat.
Yes.
And all part like big bombastic music and acting.
Yeah.
It is. And the variety of music in it is great. It's got all kinds of like different genres of music throughout the whole thing. It's not just hip hop, or they're dancing, like the dances are very like hip hop and modern, but they're in like the period clothes. So it was just very cool to watch, I think.
Yeah. All right. So maybe we should take another break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a new movie musical that came out this year, the Matilda musical. And we're back. So the movie we all saw was the Matilda the musical. It came out in 2022, right? Mm-hmm. It was previously live. I didn't get a chance to see it live, but it's now available in a film version on Netflix. And did anyone get to see it live?
No.
I did see it live, yes.
Did?
How close is it to the film adaptation?
It's close, but it's different. They used a number of, like, the most catchy main songs they used, but there was a lot of music in the stage version, and it had a different tone to it. It was a little bit more, like, goofy, funny. The movie was more dark, I think, and more sad. This was like, yeah, the adults were kind of terrible, but, like, they weren't, like, oh my god, this is disturbing.
Yeah.
Like, the movie was very dark, I think, compared. So there was a lot of music, like Miracle had like 4 parts to it or something like that. And because they had to fill in the time, and in the movie they could show you visually things that they had to sing about on stage. So they cut out a lot of the music for the movie, and they made a few extra songs. They really hyped up the storyline of the Miss Honey's parents.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah, I was wondering how they did that in the play.
That was like new. So have you seen the original movie Matilda?
I have never seen the original movie. I think I read the book a long time ago, but
so like Miss Honey was like her dad passed away at a certain point. Her aunt raised her. That was always kind of just like a subplot, and this new movie kind of made it a main focus.
The same with the book.
I haven't read the book since I was probably in elementary school, so I need to go back and read the book.
So it was a subplot in the book. It wasn't really expanded in that way.
I read the book for the first time last week to prepare for this episode because I am a professional.
We should have all done that.
But yeah, they didn't. So the book's like 19 chapters, and they didn't even mention Miss Honey's backstory until like chapter 16. Yeah. And it was only really in one chapter, and it all comes out all at once. Like the whole thing about her parents being like trapeze artists or escapologists, they call them. Yeah, that's not mentioned at all. They're just people.
Yeah, I think in the original movie they're not mentioned at all.
No, barely. Maybe just in passing.
Yeah, well, what they do, like it's not. You know that like her dad died and her aunt stole
but the
house.
backstory is not
the
the same. That's interesting because I really enjoyed that part of the movie. Maybe it was just the production of how they inserted Matilda and Mrs. Phelps, who she's telling the story to, into the scenes. And I just liked the subplot of her escape from her terrible life was her going to this library lady and telling her a story that was so good. But I wasn't expecting the twist of that it was Miss Honey's parents.
Yeah, that was surprising when I watched it.
Spoiler alert for Matilda the musical.
Oh yeah,
the movie,
I'll add that in at the beginning of the second.
Spoiler alert.
No, I won't.
There was a lot that even in the original movie, like they just didn't have in the new one, like her brother. That led a lot. Like her family dynamic was so different in this one because the other movie and the show. It was a little more lighthearted. Like, her parents were just so, like, they were just idiots, like, yeah, they were terrible, but they're so dumb.
Yeah, they turned up the volume on how cruel the parents were. In the book, they were more just fawning over her brother.
Right.
Which that character was completely eliminated from this musical. The movie, at least.
He's in the stage one, and there's really good songs, like, with the dad and the brother.
Yeah, I was curious
the comic relief wasn't there in the new movie.
He's not an essential character to the story, but I was curious why they eliminated him entirely from the musical.
Maybe they wanted to intensify that.
Maybe.
To explain more why she's willing to leave her parents at the end. Because if they're just sort of, not paying attention to her, but not in a nefarious, like a negative way, it's something that maybe if they wanted to, that could be fixed. Like the parents could learn and grow. But this way, it's like, no, these are terrible people and she needs to get away from them. And so that explains the plot a little better, maybe.
In the original one, they still leave and she's just like, okay, bye. Because they just weren't that great. She can live with Miss Honey and read books and have a beautiful life, or she could stay with her parents that just want to watch TV all the time and don't pay her any attention.
Sorry, you mentioned the librarian, Mrs. Phelps. So in the book, she has a very minor role. She's really just works at the like an actual library. She's not in a traveling library van. And her only interactions is in the very beginning of the book when Matilda walks to the library and checks out a book for the first time. She's not a reoccurring character. Mm-hmm. So that role was really expanded. But I did like it in the musical. I like when there's a librarian in a movie, one, but I liked how it kind of gave Matilda an opportunity to kind of like express her feelings about her parents without using exposition, just kind of like her going into fantasy world. So that was interesting, and it kind of tees up again, spoiler alert, her like powers later on. Like she has this like fantastic imagination, so kind of eases you into believing that she has powers at the end because she's able to weave these, very realistic stories. Mm-hmm. So I like that too.
It almost, I will say, I didn't love the movie. I thought it was pretty good. But as somebody who didn't have any experience really with the other versions of Matilda, it wasn't my favorite. I think the Mrs. Phelps librarian character was extraneous. Like they could have cut all of that out and it wouldn't have made a difference. All of her interactions with everybody else in the book were so overwhelmingly, like upsettingly negative that I guess they had to have that lightness somewhere in the story. Right. Like truly upsetting to watch her talk to her parents or the Trunchbull or like anyone.
The Trunchbull was like really crazy in this one.
Intense.
And it's disturbing. It was so like, I feel like the original movie was less like realistic. She was less crazy. But this one, it was like visually startling, like to see like 60 chokies. Like she traveled, and it's just like, oh my god, this woman is insane.
Like she's got jails for children.
Yeah, it was a little bit too realistic showing of child abuse and neglect, I think. In this
they really turn up the volume on like every element of the book and even the 90s movie. Like everything is cranked up a little bit.
Yeah, the 90s movie is much less disturbing. I mean, it's not.
With the exception of one scene, the cake eating scene, I think that's more disturbing in the 90s film than the new version.
The cake eating scene was really cool to watch on stage because they have him eat an entire. It looks like a real cake, and by some magic of stage, he starts eating it and it like disappears.
Yeah, that's
cool. It was fun to watch.
There were a few songs that I felt like I could feel that this was a stage musical. Like, you could feel how this was presented on the stage. Like, there's a song at the end where the Trunchbull is angry at Matilda and is running at her, like, to get her. And Matilda, like, turns to the camera and is addressing the audience directly with, like, an I Want song where she's, you know, and then she goes up into the clouds and she's in her happy, quiet place for a little while before she snaps back into reality. And it was very, like, oh, this is the song where Matilda is facing the audience and she's singing out into the theater. But so many of these, I'm so curious to know how they would even begin to present them on the stage. Like, or scenes, like when the Trunchbull throws a girl by her pigtails. I'm guessing there were ropes involved.
I don't know if they did that. I don't remember her actually.
I was hoping you were going to say great wire work.
I don't remember her doing that. But there was a lot more on the stage. There was a song they cut called Loud. That was in the beginning of them. So there was a lot more in the stage play, I feel like, than they showed in the movie. So like the Loud was sung by, like, I think the mom, who was really obnoxious, but in the stage play, but like obnoxious to the extreme. In the movie, she was just kind of like just there and a terrible person.
Like negligent.
Yeah. So Quiet, which is the song you're talking about, was like the
counterpoint to that song
at the end. And I'm pretty sure she was just like on the stage by herself. They had I remember like them doing for the chalk work, they had a lot of good special effects. So like the chalk work was done, it must have been a screen or something, or lighting, you know.
And it just appeared.
Really, they had a lot more, the musical numbers, there was a lot more like adult participation. The adults were dressed up as kids. Like When I Grow Up, it's sung by the whole cast. And I don't think it did that in the movie. I can't remember now, even though it was just last night that I watched it again.
There were some adult parts
but you felt kind of like here's all the adults in the cast also singing along, like, you know, these little kids are going to grow up and be adults. And I just felt like the movie had the show had a little more depth and lightheartedness than the movie was just.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because this could. I like Annie, but I could see a version of this movie where it's almost exclusively kids singing ensemble songs.
Yeah, and the dance numbers. That was the other thing. It's so impressive to see the kids performing live. The Revolting Children at the end is a fantastic dance number. And actually, you can watch the Tony performance. They do a medley, and they do When I Grow Up. Miss Honey has her own song. I can't remember which one. And they do Revolting Children. And in the short Tony performance, you kind of get a little bit of an idea of, you know, how cool it was in the stage performance.
Yeah.
And all the kids are so talented. It's like amazing to watch.
I'm glad to hear that there are, in the stage show, there's more songs. Like, it sounds like there's some more individual character songs and like the adults. Because one of my, I don't want to say problems, but one of the things that I didn't like so much about the movie was that it was very heavy on the group songs with the children that felt very like Annie-esque, which, not that that's a bad show or a bad thing to be like, but it was also similar from one song to the next, that I wanted a little more variety in the musicality of it, I think. So to have like some single character songs would have broken it up nicely, even though the kids' performances were super impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The stage show, the kids weren't as angelic and like, oh, the kids can do no wrong. The kids were, in the beginning, the kids are kind of obnoxious singing. They're not in the movie, they're little babies, and the song is going on and everything is like, like happy and light.
Taking it very straightforward.
Yeah, in the stage show, it's like these obnoxious little kids, and it's like, my mom says I'm the best, you know, like.
And then Matilda is like the opposite of that.
And then kind of like your product, like those obnoxious kids are a product of their like obnoxious parents, you know, so it's like more of a joke, I guess, on like society and how kids are being raised.
I agree with Tory, your point that I would have liked to have seen more solo songs. I was waiting the whole movie for Miss Honey to get a solo song, and it sounds like she did have one in the musical and live.
She sings a song about Matilda. I don't know if she has another one. I'd have to listen to the recording again. She sings a song about Matilda like coming into her life, and that's like in the middle of the show. It's not like,
I thought the songs were great though. I really liked the songs. I thought When I Grow Up Old, is that how it is?
When I Grow Up.
When I Grow Up, I loved that song. The opening song I thought was great. The Rotten Children?
Revolting Children.
I thought that was great, and a great dance number. Like, That must be a TikTok
It
video.
is.
Okay, I was going to say, I was watching
Don't they have it set to like Missy Elliott music? I feel like I've seen that.
I'm not sure, but there is a separate, like, there's a portion of the song where the girl with the beret,
Yes.
the part where she busts through the door and they're going down the hallway, that specific piece of choreography was a TikTok trend for months with people recreating that dance.
See that.
And I was waiting the whole movie for it because I saw
You had to wait till the very end.
I was like, when are they going to do the TikTok dance? I was waiting the whole time.
It's funny because it's a great dance number, and especially the girl with the red beret. Because the whole movie, I'm like, she gets a lot of scenes, and I'm like, she's not a great actress.
They're setting her up for
but I'm
something.
like, yeah, she's a dancer.
I've seen the TikTok trend a million times and heard that section of the song a million times, but I watched the movie with subtitles, and I never like knew what they were saying because they've got the sort of heavy like Cockney accents a little bit, but I thought it was very clever. It sounds like the lyric they're saying that they're Norty a little bit Nordy because they have the British accents.
They do
I thought that was very funny.
it.
They're
Like-
naughty.
They misspell a bunch of stuff in that song and it's very funny.
They spell like, and when you're watching it on stage, they would have the word spelled out on the chalkboard behind, and they would spell it Norty, and so yeah.
Speaking of spelling, there's the whole song with the alphabet.
That was very cool.
That was cool.
And very ominous.
Yes.
Because I was like, what are they counting down to?
I liked that whole sequence. And it was going very quick. I was like, I almost wish I could play it at half speed because I'm like, what are they saying? Like, oh, they're already on to like the next room, the
By
next
the time
letter.
you realize they're doing that, you're like, oh, I missed how they fit in. Because it wouldn't always be them just saying the letter. It would be part of a word.
Right.
Or
Yeah, that was a cool song.
it felt like they sort of did, you'll have to tell me if this is for the stage version as well, but they sort of did a nod to the Grease movie musical at the end where they had the huge carnival at the school with all of the rides. It's like, wow, that reminds me a lot of Grease at the end where they've got the school carnival.
I don't remember what the final scene was. I don't think there was necessarily a carnival. I mean, Miss Honey does become the head of the
mistress.
school.
Well, they threw that in there. If it wasn't a nod,
I feel
think
like
it
the
would have been a
stage
good
was not that busy, like set wise.
There was a lot going on. Yeah. That and the circus elements. I was wondering like how they couldn't have done this live.
No,
it
I
would be
don't
too
think they did
much.
that.
They'd have to do a whole set change.
Like I'm trying to picture like the classroom. They had like the desks and like the background would have been the chalkboard. Like it was a little. I feel like the whole thing was more
pared down.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the performances in the movie? So Emma Thompson plays Miss Trunchbull.
Trunchbull.
She's the bad one.
With a lot of prosthetics on.
Yes. I thought she was terrifying.
She was.
And I thought she did an amazing job. Like when I saw, looking at the cast before I saw the movie that she was in it, I'm like, oh, okay. But man, she really sells the character. Like her facial expressions with all the prosthetics and everything on. She looks fantastic. Her eyes, everything. Like she sells that she is crazy and malicious. I thought she did a fantastic job.
Like to a terrifying degree. Like this is not. If you were going to show this to your kid, wait till your kid's like 12 because this is not. It's a really scary portrayal that she did. I think.
Yeah.
If I was a 12-year-old and I saw this movie would be one of my favorites because it's like just dark enough where you can see it when you're young. And you feel like you shouldn't be watching it, But it's still like, you get to watch kids, take over a school. Like, nothing is cooler when you're a kid. Like,
I have a
it's
friend
a fantasy.
that recently watched this with her son that's around that age, and she said they loved it. Like, they both really enjoyed it. So I think that's right on, you're right on hitting the nail right on the head with the age group that it's for.
So, Emma Thompson I thought was amazing. And then Miss Honey is Lashana Lynch, who I know from the James Bond movies, the Daniel Craig movies. She's kind of teed up to be the next 007, and she actually is 007, spoiler alert, in at least one of the movies. But yeah, it was interesting to see her, and she's also in The Woman King that came out last year.
That's what I knew her from, and she was a huge scene stealer in that movie. She wasn't the main character, but you wanted to be watching her character on screen at all times. So, this is the year of Lashana Lynch, or the couple years of Lashana Lynch.
Yeah, I was surprised but delighted to see her because I think she's a great actress. I wish she sang more, like as I already mentioned. But it was interesting to see her. She's 007.
A warrior woman.
Warrior princess woman.
And the sweetest teacher you've ever met.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And
like
then an
a
angel.
little bit like shy and meek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Range. She's got the range.
She's got the range, and I think she did I think she was well cast. As surprising as the casting as it was for me, I think she was well cast. Her her facial expression, she looks like the most innocent little doe-eyed, sweet little teacher. So I thought she did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I was surprised when I first saw it? Because I saw it when it first came out. I watched it. The doctor in like the beginning.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I know his face because he's got a great voice too. I forget his name. We'd have to look it up.
His last name's Henry.
Henry. Is it James Henry?
Matthew Henry.
Matt Henry. He's in Kinky Boots, the recording that is on one of the streaming services. You should totally watch that. Everyone should watch that.
Yeah,
Kinky
Matt
Boots
Henry.
is also one of my favorites ever. And he plays Lola in I think it was recorded on the West End, that Kinky Boots
I had looked
live
him up.
performance.
I was reading about some of the cast in this, and he's like a big stage guy in the UK. He's played Simba and Lion King.
He has a gorgeous voice.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've seen Kinky Boots, he's got to belt out some crazy tunes in Kinky Boots.
And they put him in a minor part in this, which just shows you like movie cast was stacked.
Right.
Everyone was very talented.
I'm trying to think of I'm looking at my notes here. So one thing they changed from the book to this movie was his hair was dyed green instead of blonde, which that's blonde in the book and even the other movie, I think. And I was thinking, like, why would they do green? And I think it's an homage to Willy Wonka, the other
maybe,
because he
yeah.
looks like an Oompa Loompa with his spray-on tan. So
Yeah.
It was confusing because they showed the bottle that she put into his hair tonic, and it just said bleach on it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what was in the hair tonic that
Yeah.
made it go green?
I think that's what they
Or what
were
was in
going
his
for.
hair? Was his hair already dyed? And then it made it okay?
That could have been it. But another, I was wondering, I'm not up on my Wonka lore as much as I should be, I guess. But at one point, there's a scene where everyone's thanking Matilda for like standing up for them, and they're giving her like little trinkets and things, and a girl gives her a curly whirly bar. Is that a Wonka candy? Is this the Wonkaverse going on right now?
Yeah, they're rebooting the Wonkaverse.
It started with Matilda.
Has Willy Wonka been? It must have been.
Yeah,
doing
Willy
a
Wonka
new-
was with Johnny Depp. They did.
But they're doing another one.
No, a musical.
Oh, a musical.
Yes, it has been.
Well, the original one was a musical.
No, there was a stage musical as well.
Who played Willy Wonka?
I'm gonna check. I don't remember.
I was thinking, who would be great to play him is Sutton Foster's ex-husband. I forget what his
Christian
name.
Borle. I think he might have actually been.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who we just saw in Some Like It Hot. He was fantastic.
Yeah, Christian Borle played Willy Wonka in the stage version. He did. So yeah, he's perfect for the part, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I like the movie. I really liked it, actually. And I wish I saw this movie before we did our Oscar episode because I would have mentioned this movie. That's how much I liked it.
It is good. It's just like not.
It's very intense.
It's very different from the original movie, and yeah, it's intense. It's not for little kids.
Yeah, I think that's why I liked it. Honestly, I thought I wouldn't call it dark, but it's dark for a kid's book.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kids movie that doesn't speak down to kids.
Right.
It's
which is what I appreciate.
Straightforward to them.
Okay, that's all the notes I have on Matilda.
I do want to know, actually,
What should we do?
where'd they get the giraffe?
I don't know, but it was a very tall giraffe, wasn't it?
Huge.
It was like 2 stories
I thought that
tall.
as well.
Forget the carnival.
At least 2 stories.
Miss Honey got a giraffe at the school. Is it her circus background from her parents?
Speaking of animals,
This doesn't work. And now we're going to go to a break, but I think we have one more little fun activity for us to do.
We have to be brief. We're way over time again. We're going to go to a break. We're going to come back. We're going to play a little game. Okay, we're back. So, Tory has a very interesting musical taste.
Wow, put this on me.
Well, maybe I'm wrong, because is it still the longest running musical ever?
I think...
wait, did Phantom overtake that recently?
I don't think that it did. I think it might still be. I'm not going to fact check that.
We're burying the lead. Tory is a big fan of the musical Cats.
Wow, I'm being thrown under the bus for sure right now.
We found a fun little quiz online. Which Jellicle Cat are you? So we're going to take that right now. So let's get started.
So let's start with the
let's
first
start.
question. It's asking us to pick a dog breed, and the options are Chihuahua, Poodle, Golden Retriever, Pit Bull, and Pug.
Is this what dog breed we would identify with, or what we would just like to have as a person?
It's letting you decide
Okay.
what you think it means.
I'm going Golden Retriever.
I think I also
I am a Golden Retriever, and I want a Golden Retriever.
In terms of personality?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Poodle just because they're soft and fluffy.
Interesting choice. Next question is, what is your favorite entree at the Olive Garden? Okay, so one of the options is seafood Alfredo. That's disgusting. You don't have cream sauces with fish. I'm sorry.
Well, what about a lobster bisque?
That's...
Or like a clam chowder. You're from
I know.
New England.
But like I'm thinking like I don't know. What is seafood Alfredo? Alfredo sauce is different. That's like cheese too. You don't have cheese in fish.
What
That's
about
a weird
po' boy?
choice.
I hate to have a rebuttal.
We said we have to move this along. Okay, so the options are tour of Italy.
I still don't know what tour of Italy means.
I don't either. I think it's just the house. Soup salad and breadsticks, seafood Alfredo, chicken parm, and lasagna classico. I don't know what classico.
I'm going with soup salad and breadsticks
As
because
am I.
it's a great variety.
I'm gonna go with
That was not an option.
Garden. I don't know.
All right, we got to move along. Next question is pick an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, Jesus Christ Superstar, Evita, Phantom of the Opera, and School of Rock. I already said Jesus Christ Superstar is one of my favorite musical films. I'm going with that one.
I'm going with School of Rock.
And I think I'm going to choose Phantom.
All right. Next question. What would you do with a second Jellicle life?
To be clear, Jellicle is a type of cat in the Cats musical. So you get to do it all over again as another cat. The options are do more good in the world, make more money, create bold art, eat better food, or sleep more, which I'm choosing automatically.
I do enjoy sleeping.
I'm going to do create bold art, even though sleep is what I would do if I wasn't on mic.
I'm going to go with eat better food.
All right, next
Tour
question.
of Italy, perhaps.
What's your favorite dance move? Oh, boy.
Arabesque penché, the pony, the time step, the moonwalk, or the pivot turn.
I'm going to go with time step, taking it back to my
tap
dancing days.
I'm going to go with the pony step because that is very fun to do.
I don't know what any of these are. Arabesque penché.
I think you should pick that one.
That sounds like you.
Yeah.
That sounds like me. Next question. What would be your non-Jellicle cat name? We have Tiger, Smokey, Oscar, Angel, and Whiskers.
Some classic cat names.
I used to have a cat named Smokey, so I think I should go with
I think
Smokey.
you have to. I might choose Oscar. It's a cute cat name.
I was going to say Oscar because I really love Oscar the Grouch. So
Oscar's a great cat name.
It really is.
What's your favorite kind of milk? Whole, 2%, 1% skim, or non-dairy? I don't know why they're... Oh, because cats drink milk.
Well, I'm torn
Aren't they
here
supposed to?
because cats are not supposed to have milk, like cow's milk. So non-dairy would be the correct choice. But I will choose whole milk, the most delicious of milks.
I'm going non-dairy because I drink almond milk.
I'm going with 1% because that's what I usually do.
Interesting. 1%, really? Okay, next question is pick a dance musical. Chorus Line, 42nd Street, An American in Paris, Newsies, or Anything Goes.
This is really hard for me.
This is hard because Anything Goes has that one fantastic tap number.
42nd Street's got like 10.
Yeah, but
and
a
then
Chorus
Newsies
Line.
is just like one of my... I forgot about Newsies for favorite like movie musicals.
I know my answer. I'm going with An American in Paris.
Oh.
It's one of my favorite movies. I don't remember the music much, but the dance number to end it is one of the best dance numbers ever.
I'm going to...
And I would just want to say one more thing about An American in Paris. Just the dance number in that film won an Oscar.
Oh, wow.
It won a special Oscar that year just for the choreography.
What was the category?
It was a special Oscar.
Oh, wow. It by itself.
Yes.
I'm going to pick a Chorus Line just because I love that musical.
I'm going to pick Newsies.
Oh, wow. This one's a real hard one.
This is a curveball. Do you want to read this one?
What's your favorite type of cat litter? Clumping clay, silica gel crystals, recycled paper, corn, or pine?
I didn't know any of these were a thing.
I've never had a cat, so what's the easiest one to clean up?
The clumping clay,
Okay,
for
I'm
sure.
going to go with that.
I'm also going to pick that.
Why is silica gel an option?
That seems dangerous.
That seems like
if they eat
a
it?
waste of good
Is it
silica.
poisonous to cats?
I'm not going to waste my good silica on the
I'm
cat.
going recycled paper because that
That's
seems
very sustainable,
eco-friendly.
yes.
Oh, okay.
This is the question I couldn't answer.
Who's your favorite Grisabella? Elaine Page, Betty Buckley, Laurie Beachman, Lilias White, or Leona Lewis? For me, I'm torn between Elaine Page or Betty Buckley. Alex, if you're looking for a recommendation, I would recommend one of those.
I was going to pick Elaine Page.
The two classic.
So to be clear for our listeners, what they're asking is which of these actresses best
Essayed the role of
Grisabella
is the best.
I like the name Betty Buckley. That's just a nice name. Betty Buckley.
Betty Buckley, who I think famously was also, she played Marion the Librarian in The Music Man at one point and did the role very well. But I'm also going to pick Elaine Page because I like her take.
What if we all got the same cat?
Maybe we did. Okay, who wants to reveal first?
I'll go first. I am Skimbleshanks, the railway cat.
That's a good cat.
Is it?
It's a good Jellicle cat.
So I guess I'll read it.
Yeah.
You're the cat of the railway train, which fits because I do ride the train sometimes. Attentive and kind, you can see what everyone around you wants and needs. You're a calming presence to everyone you know, and you suffer no pranksters. All aboard.
All
Is
aboard.
that true? Am I a calming presence to you all?
I'd say so.
Sure.
That's good to know.
Sure.
For the purposes of the podcast, yes. Alex?
I'll go next. I am Grisabella the Glamour Cat.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
She got the big one.
It's because of the arabesque.
It is.
Oh, do I sing Memories?
Yes.
Oh, I'm the star.
And you die.
Oh. But I come back to sleep more. All right.
More.
Grisabella the Glamour Cat. It's awkward to say, but your best days might just be a memory because you're Grisabella the Glamour Cat. There's good news, though. If you make your case, you might get a second chance at things, and you still... Oh no, an ad popped up and it's gone.
No. We'll never find out the truth about
Okay,
Grisabella.
I'm back. If you make your case, you might get a second chance at things, and you still look great in a shabby chic, deconstructed fur coat.
Wow.
That nailed me. Of course I
Sounds
did.
like you, Shabby
I
Chic.
feel like I would pay to see Alex in a shabby chic deconstructed.
If somebody pays for a shabby
We can make
fur
this happen.
coat, I'll wear
We
it.
can make this happen.
All right, my result was I am Jenny Anydots the Gumby Cat, which is, again, a great Jellicle cat.
Are there any bad Jellicle cats?
No. During the day, it's all lazy all the time for you, but when the sun goes down, you get to work. You're Jenny Anydots, the old Gumby cat, and you've got a mission for after-hours community outreach and a mean time step. More than anything else, you know life's most important lesson. Tap shoes make anything better. I think this is actually pretty
that's
accurate.
pretty on point.
That
Yeah.
worked out well.
You chose correctly.
We all chose
for your personality.
our best Jellicle cat.
I'm living my best Jellicle life.
The first or the second?
Oh, I'm on my at least second. I'll put the link to that very fun quiz in the show notes. But that's all I got for this episode. Tory, Steph, thank you both so much for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. It was fun.
This is Grisabella signing off. Meow meow.